he got at least 60 pounds on him. He's gonna start the pod like that, just randomly. No 3, 2, 1. Just all right. I'm starting the pod, and he's solid. He miming now too. Okay. You sure you're gonna represent your school right now with all this stuff on? You know you get reckless with your mouth.
Oh yeah, you might want to take that off.
Nope.
You don't put no green stickers over it. Get it edited out.
Yeah, so you blur over that.
Look like a green sticker. Start the show.
All right, fellas. We're gonna circle back around to the Draymond pool punch. The pool party punch. I wasn't on the podcast with you guys. Y'all guys did a great podcast. I just had a couple of questions that he brought up a good point to my question. My question was, how did you guys feel about Draymond's discipline? And I know you guys did a pod right after, so like you didn't have time to really talk about this. But how do you feel about the disciplinary action that happened with Draymond Green versus Poole,
or lack thereof?
The lack thereof disciplinary action.
I mean, to be honest, it seemed like there wasn't going to be any if it wasn't a leaked video. Whatever they do right now is just to appease the public, just to kind of help Jordan Poole's dignity at this point. Because within that locker room, it was pretty much gone at that point. But there's really nothing, like, what are they really going to do? I mean, because if it wasn't for somebody chasing a check, selling that video, will we even know about this?
I mean, I think we know what they're going to do. They're going to let him play. Like last night, he played in the game. So if they were going to suspend him or fine him, I mean, you've had a week now to do it. I don't think anything's going to be done.
They do things retroactively sometimes. And it was the ring ceremony game too. So it's kind of different. It's not like it's a regular game, you know? It's like a kid getting in trouble before their birthday. Like, you're going to have your birthday party, but after that, everything else shut down. Because everything's already ordered. You know, they got the cake. Everything's already coming. It's too late to cancel it. I'm already going to lose money if I do this. But afterwards, everything shut down.
If this was a different situation, maybe, but I don't see them doing that for this situation. If you were going to do it, you would have done it. I personally, I don't think it's really that big of a deal for them to retroactively go back.
Let me change clothes. I'm about to curse. Hold on.
You already started it. It don't even matter right now.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
You already know.
The logos off.
You should have blurred your background while you was doing it.
Take the logos off, bro.
Post-production, take care of it.
You know how business works.
Good God, go ahead and get that.
You can't drink Pepsi while wearing Coke, nigga.
This man compared it to a McDonald's party.
He just said you can't drink Pepsi while having Coke ready. You know? But I mean, like, what do you really feel is an appropriate disciplinary action? Because does the league have any rules against fighting in practice?
What?
Well, the fact that this was
videotaped, is there a rule?
Because it was videotaped, that makes the situation worse. Now, I'm not going to get into what happened, why it happened, but the fact that this man cursed out Kevin Durant and lost games, but punched somebody and nothing really happened but a fine. What does that say to your organization, to fairness and discipline?
I don't disagree with you.
They rock with Draymond over everything.
Draymond over everything?
That's what they got going on. Draymond is plugged in.
Now, I'm going to have to be a little bit biased here. Give y'all a little bit of backstory. I'm Draymond when it came to my basketball team. I was the emotional leader. I was the Dennis Rodman at that time because I was that guy in the 90s, kind of very similar to Draymond. when you kind of play on the edge with your emotions, you're the emotional leader of your team, and you can kind of cross some lines. I'm pretty sure I don't remember punching none of my plays in practice, but we done definitely had to check some dudes, or I had to pull some dudes up when they was down that was more talented than me, when I knew they needed somebody like to be there for them. So I kind of feel like I can understand who Draymond Green is, but still, wrong is wrong. Look, if I did something wrong, if I threw a scoreboard, if I did something that cost us, I mean, I need to be disciplined for it. And my thing is, when you say that you still trust Draymond, I look at it like Draymond kind of cost you a championship. Draymond Green cost you Kevin Durant, and he punched people. It's I mean, come on, it's.
I mean, because it could be the same thing with this. It could be like a temptation. No one's bigger than the group. Durant felt bigger than the group. Jordan Poole might have felt bigger than the group.
No. The temptation, someone was bigger than the group. David Ruffin was bigger than the group.
I'm just saying, what happened to David Ruffin after the Temptations?
Hey, David Ruffin happened to David Ruffin.
I'm just saying, what happened to David Ruffin after the Temptations?
The Golden State Warriors are handling Draymond poorly.
Think.
It's just, with all that history that Javon just laid on it, that's poor. Because that'll make no sense. I get suspended and I don't lay a punch, but then when I lay a punch, I don't suspend it. So you suspend me for my words, but you don't suspend me for physical altercation. And especially when the physical, we keep on saying punch. Poole got dropped. There's a difference. I can punch someone, he still stands up. He got dropped.
Now he got knocked the fuck out.
I think part of that has to do with them at the time trying to retain Durant. So the team was trying to do everything they could to stay on Durant's good side. So they thought that was a way to apologize to Durant.
No, that's a good point.
As well as Poole, they got locked already into a contract. So it's like, whatever, you're going to stay here regardless. So I think it's two different situations. I get what you're talking about, but obviously it's two different scenarios and the circumstances surrounding those as to why the team chose to go the route they did. I don't agree with it. I'm with you. I don't agree. But it's two different reasons. That's why they went. I believe that's probably why they went the way they did.
It could be 6, 7 different situations. He's the common denominator.
Nah, y'all both got points, but he's saying the way they moved at that time was because of reasons. And the reasons why is because they was trying their best to get Durant back.
But I'm saying I get you on that point, right? But lay out the other stuff that you spilled out, right? He cost them a finals, right? You know what I mean? He's getting ejected out of games, right? They're not really putting their foot on Draymond to be like, really chill out.
Nah, me personally, Draymond need to be suspended for something, a game or two. I don't care about ceremony night. Listen, like I think one of y'all just said, it's like getting I know you paid for your birthday presents in the party and you acted up. I'm sorry. Look, these kids can come and enjoy the party I paid for, but you not. You can watch.
Watch from the window.
Yeah. I'm from a family where you can watch other people play with your Christmas presents. You won't even touch it.
Ooh, that hurt. Didn't even happen to me. It hurt.
Hey, good. Hey, you need to get good grades.
Yeah.
What's your job as a kid? Go to school, get good grades.
Okay.
I just think decision's been made, but I do agree with y'all. They should have done something.
That's too many light-skinned boys on that team. They handle things soft.
Yeah, too
many of them soft.
The only Browns can do on the team. They don't know how to deal with that dude. They like, look, Draymond, look, seriously, you're scaring all of them.
They better look. Your dark ass is really like spooking us now. You know, it's not.
That's like a double
that
meaning
man
right
dog.
now. You doubling down on this.
I mean,
You
Hey,
change
man,
your clothes to double down on something.
it is
Right.
what it is.
Yeah. Hey,
Y'all got
we'll
any
see
more
what
thoughts on
happens.
this? I mean,
It's
I
still
look at it like
developing.
this.
It's not an over
Look,
situation.
I kind of look at it as when your coach been punched and he won championships before, you probably look at it as a type of, it's probably the culture there.
He said, "Hey, this is another championship right here."
It just got
After this
recorded,
punch.
I mean, and everybody saw it.
I mean, he got recorded because it's like a security camera from the facility, and some inside person capitalized off of it.
To knock out your teammate, he had to have said something.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, like Steve Smith, we know him for doing similar things to people on the team who he felt needed their chin checked.
If y'all go back to an old interview where they're talking about the teammates are telling Draymond they need to go and check him because he's doing a lot of yapping and this and that. Draymond, like, I kind of like it. I think what happened was he got a little buck, feeling himself a little bit, and he did that with Draymond or crossed the line with Draymond, and Draymond said that he took some personal stuff to work. And he wasn't feeling that talk. And he probably got like, hey, for real, shut the fuck up. And then he got to like, whatever. And then you know how niggas get, and then some words got said. And once
He brought some punch to the pool party.
magical word come out, you bitch ass nigga. Yeah, whatever. And me personally though, once you walk up on me from the sideline to the underneath the court, come on, bro.
You know it's on. Some people
Yeah,
haven't been in that situation where they had to put their hands up for real. They thought it was going to be a shove. And he probably thought everybody was going to jump in. His shove was like, all right, everybody about to jump in right now.
I don't know. I teach my son, as soon as you shove, you throw 30 punches, nigga. Because as soon as you shove, the fight's on.
I'm just saying, but
that was like the flick to a lighter. You just initiated the whole fucking thing.
And did you hear the number he said? He said
30.
Those 30 of them.
So give him a 30-piece McNugget.
You don't throw one and look at it like, oh, look at my right. Nah, you throw one to that nigga gone. You need to
put him down.
Somebody is grabbing you saying you need to stop.
Maul him.
I mean, that's what Draymond did. He threw 8 punches until everybody said stop. Because they knew it. As soon as he wound up.
Draymond threw a Jermaine O'Neal.
No, go check no, he did more than that. Check the video, because if you see, he connected, but then he also tried to pick him back up.
He did. He tried to hold him. He hit him so hard, he was like, oh shit.
He put him to sleep. Like, oh, I ain't mean he
Hey, but
he
I
didn't
ain't
mean
gonna
to do that.
But
he knew he messed up right there in that moment.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna hold you though. If when we have another pod topic about leadership, that also reflects a little bit about the leadership of the Warriors as well.
What you mean?
How so?
How?
We're trying to practice. Shut up. Like move, like whatever you gotta say and everything, save it for after practice. Right now, you're a distraction.
Who?
So people talk all the time in practice.
Yeah,
talking trash and everything. Like,
yes, but if you look at the format, no one was moving, correct?
Yeah.
That's the video. No one was moving, right? So all that to be said. Now, granted, there could be other things going on, right? I'm just going off the spill what I'm seeing as far as body language. Someone is talking. Why is that there's trash talking going on right now? So who's going to be the person to really tell them to shut up?
Well, again, we understand that there is more to the story than what we have, right? We didn't see what happened and transpired, again, a minute leading up to that, let alone the whole practice, right? So there could have been, right, there could have been a whole bunch of shit going back and forth during practice, right? There could have been nothing going on. And then just right before, Poole said something, and then it got caught in that moment. So we don't know what's happening. It could have been stuff happening from other practices, right? Even back to last year. So we have no idea what's going on between these two. which is another reason why, again, usually this stuff doesn't get out. It stays within the organization. So we would never known about this. We would still be talking about these guys being the contenders in the West and being the championship contenders, winning last year, and that would all been discussed, and that's it. But because it got leaked, that's the only reason we're talking about it. But honestly, as we heard from several other athletes in the NBA and in the NFL, these type of things happen throughout the leagues. And it's not that big of a deal. Granted, we're in a different time in our society right now, so everybody gets a little upset when somebody get hit.
But they say it. But they say it's not a big deal though to throw water on the fire though. But sometimes it can be a big deal because a lot of those dudes we end up talking about end up getting traded and don't play for that team no more.
Yeah.
So
it can go both ways.
Can I ask y'all a question? Don't most dudes that get punched for championships or go far?
I think there is something to be said with that. Right, because you're talking about testing your teammates and the mentality of your teammates to be able to be battle tested.
But in basketball, see, this is why we talking about soft, light-skinned niggas like Ron talking about. How many times we see football dudes fight in practice?
All the time.
Like, I mean, football fights and practices happen like every year.
All the time. And
we're not sitting here talking about, I mean, look, they out there, iron sharpens iron. It happens. Alpha males, you put them in a stable, this is what happens.
Again, if you can't,
it's so serious.
And if you can't deal with your teammates getting on your behind, how are you gonna deal with the pressure in a game of an opponent?
True, but then it's still at the same time, though, what hits harder? A teammate who knows you versus someone who don't know you who's talking trash. I talk trash to, it's not, don't say it's even, because it's not even, because I talk trash to a lot of dudes. I talk trash to a lot of dudes, and like it stops there. You feel me? Once you get two teammates and there's some there's some personals involved in everything, that's where I was saying you gotta boom, you gotta cut it.
That's what I say. I think it hits harder when it is coming from home. Like, you look at family members, right? When you got family members, brother, it hit harder when your brother or in a relationship, your spouse or somebody cut you deep.
It hits
with some words. Right. Somebody outside the house, hey, who cares? I don't gotta see you every day.
But you saying this, like, you're saying that talking trash to your teammate is making them tougher when someone else is talking trash to them.
I'm saying if you can handle me talking trash to you and I'm on your team and you can get through that, you should have no issue dealing with somebody outside of our locker room.
Yeah, true. But that power punch though.
Yeah. All right, fellas. We're gonna move to a new topic, but still a topic for debate.
I'm gonna buckle up for this one. I want to hear this answer.
Make sure no emotions. This one can get emotional. Do you guys think that the black quarterback is being critiqued now more than ever?
Let me start or something. They're right quiet.
So
I think it's highlighted more now than ever because of all the media avenues we have. It's highlighted the critique of the black quarterback more than ever. So it's not just, one or two outlets. It's 30 outlets, and it's repeated over and over again. And they don't like to show them in their best light. Like, some people are sent into unwinnable situations and they're held to a higher standard in an unwinnable situation than somebody else would. Like, it makes no sense how, like I said, like Gardner Minshew would have like no pressure with the Jags, but then they want Justin Fields to like resurrect the Bears. That makes no sense.
I will give you some fight on that one.
I mean, I get it. Bears have more of a storied franchise than the Jags, but like I said, they want somebody to come in when there's literally nothing left on that team and rebuild it. Like, even when Cam's returned to the Panthers, they gave this man no prep time and wanted him to jump back into the game and look like he did when he first got there. That's not gonna happen. He goes to the Patriots, no prep time. You're not gonna go. That's a complex system. Only people that have been there for years actually thrived in that system. No one goes there one and done, or just somebody who had time to really ease into it. Like, he pretty much gave the spacer for Mac Jones to really get into his groove. Even when Brady was there, Castle had more time to ease into that system because he was there for a while. He was a career backup. Go ahead.
Can I fight you on that? Can I fight you on that one thing about that? A Minshew doesn't have the same resume as a Cam Newton or a Justin Fields.
He doesn't.
So I wouldn't expect much either from a Minshew going to the Jags based off his current resume. When you got a Cam coming to New England, what is Cam's resume? Former Super Bowl, former MVP, former Heisman candidate. You mean, I get that critiquing. The problem I have critiquing is kind of to an old argument. Well, actually, it wasn't an argument. It was really more so of a debate that Javon, I never disagreed about Javon, is the play of the black quarterback. I feel like the play of the black quarterback is being critiqued more now than ever. That's where I stand.
Yeah, the play, of course, is going to be critiqued because, like I said, all right, when I bring up those things, I just bring up a starting quarterback. A starting quarterback is expected to do what? Win games. Regardless of your draft position, if you're starting, no one's saying, oh, go in there and lose. Go in there and do your worst possible thing that you can possibly do. But, of course, a name does carry more going forward when it comes to expectations. But, yeah, a black quarterback is definitely going to be critiqued on everything they do. Their throwing mechanics are critiqued harder. If they run more than they throw, it's critiqued harder. How accurate is their spiral? Can they throw a deep ball? Do they rely on a dump off pass? Like, all of those things are going to be critiqued more. Go ahead. Yes.
No, I was going to say, I get what you're saying, and I do agree with that. I think the expectations for black quarterbacks currently typically are a little bit different from their counterparts. And they're looked more so as focused on their athletic ability instead of looking at them as a total package. And it's almost predisposing people's minds that, oh, okay, he's athletic, he's gonna be able to run the ball. And then they start doing running plays for the black quarterback off rip, right? I don't know necessarily if the criticism of the black quarterback is more now than it was in the past. If that's the question, I think you're spot on, Maul, where you say that, yes, we have more outlets, there's more coverage. So it may seem that way, but I think the criticism was harsher back in the day for black quarterbacks, because again, they didn't even want them to be quarterbacks at all, not even step on the field, and did everything in their power to paint that narrative that we couldn't even play the position. So that criticism is not there now. Clearly, when you're drafting black quarterbacks at a high rate. So go ahead.
Go on.
So I'm just saying, I think maybe there's more so the expectation, I think, is different of black quarterbacks, which is why I think there's a level of expectation levied on them that isn't necessarily there for other quarterbacks supposedly at the same level. And therefore, they're typically, I don't think they're evaluated equally in that sense, if that makes sense.
I agree that they're not evaluated equally the same because their abilities are usually not the same. So it's hard to grade somebody with different attributes. I would say that you're probably thinking that they're being more critiqued more is because they are actually being more available to play. So you're actually seeing more black quarterbacks playing more, which I agree with E. That they probably was actually being more scrutinized more in the past, and they didn't get to play more. when we was in the past, you didn't see that many black quarterbacks, but now you do see black quarterbacks, and now that you see more, they're definitely going to critique us more than anyone else. Y'all just know what comes with the territory. We're in a position where it's not a position that really these owners want us to be in. The quarterback is the face of the franchise, which is the face of the organization. So one, anytime that we do a job that they probably want someone else to do, you know that we have to do that job 2 times better than the next man. And if we don't, we're going to get critiqued harder than everybody else.
I mean, speaking of a face of a franchise, do we ever think that the New York Giants are going to start a black quarterback? They're still the only franchise that never do that.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But I mean, we like black quarterbacks definitely do get looked at on a higher level. Like, you look at Baker Mayfield. If he was black, he would have been benched so long ago. The way he plays, his throws, he would have been benched. I'm sorry, it would have been. They'd have been showing, oh, this is why he's not on the team, as he's benched. Because you can't tell me he's not better than. I mean, he's better than certain quarterbacks who aren't starting.
Go back, Nina.
Or in the league.
Or in the league, you know, certain ones that you know have stories about their life out right now, and you know, unbranded jerseys out there.
I think the quarterbacks of the past is what made it harder for the quarterbacks of today.
How so?
Now, follow me on this. It ain't just about their play. It's also of how they carry themselves on and off the field, and stuff like the consequences that they had, that those quarterbacks had, right? Because correct me if I'm wrong. You said there wasn't as many black quarterbacks playing at the time, right?
This is true. Yeah.
At what time are you referring to?
I mean, I'm talking about this throughout the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, and then I'm just going back to the beginning when we first started seeing black quarterbacks come into the league. There's just not as many as there are now. So you had like one in the beginning, and then it's been growing ever since. So that was my only point. No, go ahead.
Yeah, but I would just give you some fight back on this sense, and this is where I agree with Maul's point, right? About how we have more of a social media presence, right? And because we have more of a social media presence, it ain't just about what you do on the field, it's about also what you do off the field, right? So most of the critiquing that was going on for those quarterbacks back then was on the field.
But all right, to bring to your point, I see what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah.
But at that time, there were so little black quarterbacks that those that were there had to be so much better than their counterparts. They had to be like look at Warren Moon. Warren Moon should have never not been in the NFL. He shouldn't have had to go to other leagues and prove his worth.
Oh,
don't let him mess up off the field.
Do you know there was a lot of players, not just black players, who went to that AFL because they were paying top dollar at the time. So they recruited a lot of great players coming out of college to try to help build their league. So Warren Moon and a couple of other, I can't remember all the other players that came out, immediately went to the AFL and lost a couple of years from not playing in the NFL. So a lot of your guys' point, the issue and the evolution of the black quarterback. Now, we look at Lamar and we look at Vic. We look at when black quarterbacks could barely even be allowed to play the game. You're athletic, we want you to change position. Now you're in the game, we want you to be the white quarterback and play like him. But now we're actually starting to allow black quarterbacks to actually play like themselves. That's the evolution of the game. Because at one point, they didn't allow Vic to play like Lamar. They didn't tailor the game around the black quarterback. They tried to be something they were not.
Yeah, of course. You still got guys like Terrell Pryor, who came in as a quarterback and was put out a wide receiver because they wanted to capitalize on his athletic ability over anything.
Me and Ron went down the list the other day. It was like five or six of them.
Yeah,
We can name
like
off the top of our head.
you can. Pat White, he was just brought in just for the Wildcat. Literally, the only reason he got picked up was for the Wildcat.
Yeah, but hold on. So I think, okay, to answer the question even better, I think overall, if we're talking about doors not being open, I mean, that falls on opportunities too, then we will talk about the past, right? But if we're talking about on and off the field, we're talking about now.
Yeah, I think that's just a product though of our society right now, right? That's not just football. That's basketball. That's all sports because we have access to the athletes in a different way through social media that we've never had before. So you can talk about Michael Jordan and other players and this, superhero type of ideal because the narrative was painted for you because you didn't have access. You didn't know about certain things, right? So they could tell the story how they wanted to tell the story. Now you have access. You can see everything almost that they're doing. You have paparazzi running around everywhere and everybody has a camera. They can put it on you as soon as they see you out in the street, right? So you're right.
But I can't use basketball though. I want to say it's the basketball thing either because
I said all sports. I was just using that example. All sports.
I mean, but I still can't use basketball because the basketballs because because we're talking about basketball's a predominant black league, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's predominantly playing quarterback right now?
Right now, it might be half and half.
No, I know it's white. It's still white.
It's still silver.
It's
okay.
still
I don't know the exact
number. It's like 70-30 still.
You know what I mean? And plus to go take a little bit further and everything, basketball players have much more different powers than an NFL player.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like honestly, a guy could keep their job longer in the NBA compared to the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, yes and no. They both cycle. There's more personnel opportunities.
Let me back up. My bad. They will always have a job. There's a difference keeping their job. They will always have a job. I've heard of basketball players being on 15 different basketball teams.
Yeah, that's it. Like those are like diamond in the rough. But they got guys.
I'm getting to the overall point about this. The simple. Okay. So I was really excited to have this conversation because I was having this conversation off air with some of my other guys. We were talking about this because the culture that we are in, not just sports. You mean hip hop, other stuff, and how it does affect us in many ways that people don't really recognize, right? Because even this, I was falling into this. Do you know that Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson are not in the Heisman commercial? Did y'all know that?
No, I didn't know.
But you know why? You don't pay no attention. But you know why though?
No, I seen all the commercials, but I never noticed that they were not really in it. Never paid no attention to that part.
Yeah, there was, but at one point he was in it when he had to fade and everything, like the little buzz cut. Once he started growing his hair out and everything, they didn't allow him in the commercials no more. Same thing with Lamar. You feel me? It's because of the rest of the representation of what
appearance.
Because he had the freeform locks.
You mean not too long ago, just 2 days ago, so I could sharpen up my toolbox because I was trying to figure out if Pat Mahomes was getting criticism. He was getting criticism too, talking about, oh, he's out here playing street ball. I was like, well, damn, I should call him black because I didn't want to give it to him, but I said, damn, he is.
I mean, end of the day, he's still gonna be black, regardless. Like I say, you can say he's light skinned or he's still black. He's still considered a black quarterback. Regardless how people look at Russ is still considered a black quarterback.
He playing street ball.
I think the black quarterback is still not understood, and people are going to hate on the things they don't understand. And what you're going to sit here and say is, it's street ball, it's this, it's not traditional. But guess what? The game has evolved so much that everybody on the defense is so much faster that you have to be able to move.
Mm-hmm.
So mobility,
That's what
and
they're
like,
afraid of.
so now that we talk about the black quarterback that has transitioned this game, the way a quarterback even runs is broken into a category. Because you can be a mobile quarterback, but that doesn't mean that you are scrambling quarterback. That doesn't mean that you are running quarterback. Because a scrambling quarterback means just somebody who's buying time to throw. A running quarterback is somebody who probably runs too fast before throwing. He'll probably have to set his feet. You know, like there's different types of quarterbacks. Like for
Marlon, don't you laughing?
people probably running quarterback.
But yet, you hit on a great point, and that's what they're afraid of, is the punter, the quarterback were like two of the last positions that really didn't require you to be super athletic. Still got, obviously, you play any sport, you got to be athletic, right? But require the athletic skill and ability that, just saying this is true, Black people are just naturally born with. And so if you're looking at the quarterback position now being one of those positions where you're going to have that type of athletic ability, what else is there left at that point?
You have to have it. Not everybody has like the elite step up like a Tom Brady. These DNs are getting faster. These outside linebackers are getting faster. And, soon linemen are going to get smaller yet stronger, because being huge and just having quicker feet is not helping a lot of them, because they're getting beat down low. Low man wins. These guys are going low and fast. And to be a great quarterback, you got to be able to move in that pocket. You got to be able to extend plays, because those who are still sitting there are not getting, the time that they want. They got to they're dumping the ball off. They're throwing bad passes, just launching out of bounds, getting these intentional grounding plays, because it's rougher now. These guys have conventions for pass rushing just to keep getting better. Like, they have conventions for O-linemen now too, but still, like, it's a battle just to keep up, just to protect the quarterback. So regardless, white, black, or whatever, you got to increase your tool. You got to increase your tool set just to stay on the field.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Mark. That's a good point. You say white, black, whatever. And I was just thinking, I'm seeing more mobile white quarterbacks than I've ever seen.
Yeah. Herbert.
Like I said,
Allen. I mean, what's the dude, the bum from New York?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Like I said, one of the first real ones, like I was saying, was like Andrew Luck, but he got lit up during that, before they started really protecting these guys. Before they really started protecting quarterbacks, like his rookie year, he was leading quarterbacks in rushing touchdowns.
I would say Frank Tarkenton is one of the first white scrambling quarterbacks, maybe before y'all time, but
I mean, that's positionless football.
It's not many.
That was street football right there.
Bro, it's not many.
I'm just thinking, like, I just named him, like, that's somebody who came to mind, but like, of course, you got Alex Smith, mobile quarterback. He's known for that, Utah and San Fran. He wasn't known for his arm.
Even Aaron Rodgers, prime Aaron Rodgers was mobile. He bought time.
He would take off a little bit.
I say he's more of a scrambler than a runner.
Yeah. Extend play.
He really wasn't trying to run for real. He ran like, all right, I gotta go.
Like, when I think of somebody scrambling, it's not pretty. Drew Brees could kind of scramble a little bit because he was a shorter guy, had lower center of gravity, lower base.
He had to get away to get those lanes.
Exactly, but it's not everybody can get these kind of plays going. Hey,
good stuff.
Hey, this is a good topic. This is good talk, fellas.
Yes, sir.
You got a bonus question? What's up? Huh?
I have a bonus?
No bonus questions. No trivia questions. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. I actually want y'all to start coming with a trivia question. I mean, I got one if y'all want one. I mean, I always can just pull one out of thin air.
You know, since you've been gone for like 2 episodes, go on.
All right, trivia question. Name me 2 people off the only undefeated football team in the NFL.
What, the 72 Dolphins?
Damn, Marino.
He said the only.
All right, E, you
He
already
said,
out.
he said give him 2 people off the undefeated 72
Two
Dolphins team.
players that played on the only undefeated team in the NFL. First of all, Marlon, because you said the Dolphins, they might not even know what team it was.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, don't even get to me. I'm just going to end the pod.
Can't help it.
I honestly can't think of any players off the top of my head. I just know the Dolphins. That's
All
the
right,
main
Marlon
thing.
said the Dolphins. Ron, can you tell me what year the Dolphins won?
Remember, don't ask me. I'm going to delete it.
You gonna delete it?
I
don't
literally
know.
said
I
it
don't
like
know.
10
I don't know.
seconds ago.
You should delete this with your old ass Lacoste Cortez jacket you got on up here.
Yo, he messed me up so bad. He unzipped it and he fed like
I feel like he got on a pair of Reebok Classics on with that joint. I swear to you.
I hate Marlon. Marlon be paying attention to everything. He looked one of those old ass parents. I did like this, and he read my lips. I said, I was like, oh, read lips. I said, pay attention, brother.
why you fed it like that? You
Got
could have
on
done like this
You
or
got on one of them
something.
hot ass trainer shirts on under there, don't you?
Oh my gosh.
No, the school shirt.
You got the school shirt. I had some cold gear on. It was cold outside. It was cold that night.
Anyways, good pod. Welcome back, Joe. Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Welcome back.
Glad to be back, but I'll see you guys on the next vacation when we return. Hey, E,
Yep.
like Marlon said, the best way, speedy and best recovery, my brother. Hopefully everything is working as best as possible. Take your time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You
I'll
know,
see y'all in a few weeks.
All right, bro.
praying for the recovery, brother.